passion. So start your strong. You got the loads of
It's a beautiful day in North Florida. You see the blue skies, the temperatures in the mid-70s. Very a little wind to deal with here in this game between the Texans and the Jaguars. 37-9 was their win a couple weeks ago for Gary Kubiak and his Houston Ball Club over Tampa Bay. They're coming off a bye. The Jaguars come in 2-2 at home. 3 up and 7 down overall, losing to Cleveland last week 14-10. We've had the flip of the coin. Jacksonville won. Brad Hartman will kick off for the Texans. And deep back for the Jaguars, who are trying to get a quick start and maybe salvage some of this season, will be a return unit that is okay, not great, okay. Well, it's going to have to wait just a minute then to see Matt Leinart. Deep back will be Montel Owens, a Pro Bowl special teams player not too long ago, and KJ Kareem will be in the end zone awaiting the return for Jacksonville. Well, what do you think? I mean, we've got an interesting game here with 2 different quarterback stories, 2 teams in different positions within their division. One team, the Texans, looking very promising as we go down the home stretch.
Of course, all eyes will be on Matt Leinart in this game, and rightfully so. But don't forget, the Jacksonville Jaguars have upset some very good football teams. We all still remember a Monday night win over the Baltimore Ravens. So this defense is capable of doing the same against Houston.
That was the last time they played here in Florida. Out of the end zone, good-looking kickoff right there. A touchback to the 20-yard line. That will take us to Jacksonville's offense, led by rookie quarterback Blaine Gabbert, coming off what they say is his best game so far.
I think he's going to have to do a good job of standing in the pocket while under pressure, keeping his vision down the field, and then having some accuracy and attacking the man-to-man defense, because when you pressure the quarterback by blitzing, that means you have to play man-to-man. He's got to be able to handle it today.
So from the 20-yard line, first down and 10 yards to go for the Jaguars. And this is Maurice Jones-Drew. Around the corner. Banged out of bounds on the near side by Danielle Manning, who is back after 3 games. He had surgery, but here he is. That's a gain of 3 right there. Brad Meester becomes the Jaguars' all-time leader in games played today, passing longtime wide receiver Jimmy Smith. And running back Maurice Jones-Drew is the leading running back in the AFC, number 2, as we mentioned before, in the entire NFL.
You got to tackle him for 4 quarters, Kevin, or he'll break your back.
It's second down and 7. Right through the hands of Cecil Shorts, a Division III player. Had some room to roam. The Texans, number 1 in the NFL. J.J. Watt is a rookie. Started every game for the Texans on that line. Terrific young linebackers led by top tackler Brian Cushing. And the number 2 pass defense in the NFL, anchored by former Bengal Jonathan Joseph, having a Pro Bowl type season. He has meant wonders for this team.
Oh, just his work habits has made a huge difference in helping the secondary to improve.
Ray Phillips ends up that Texan D. Third down and 7 on the game's first possession. Gabbert deflected and almost picked off. Almost intercepted. Watt got in there, as did Connor Barwin. It's 3 and out. Cushing with pressure. And the Jaguars have got a punt on their first possession.
And we said they were going to come after him. Look, it's man-to-man across the board with a single-high safety. Pressure in the face of Blaine Gabbert. And so it's really about understanding where is the man-to-man coverage coming from. And that's J.J. Watt, number 99, getting a hand up. And rightfully so. But you've got to be able to attack man-to-man down the field.
Watt blacked the field goal a little bit earlier this season, so he is used to getting in front of those balls, whether it's a pass or a kick. And here is Jacoby Jones, number 9, punt returner in the National Football League. And out of bounds about the 41. And it's a 3-yard return. Well, the quarterback is Matt Leinart. Matt Schaub is out. And Leinart making his first start since 2009.
Matt Leinart gets the opportunity of a lifetime. He's got a lot to work with. Top-rated rushing attack, and then maybe the best receiver in football in Andre Johnson. Then a defense that can create a short field for the backup quarterback.
This offense of the Texans, number 2 in the NFL in terms of opening drive points scored. They are something. Little boot right there on the fake to Foster. Kevin Walter near midfield, near a first down, knocked out of bounds by Ashton Yabodi. That's an 8-yard return with the left-handed quarterback. The right tackle, Eric Winston, is now the blindside protector. 17 consecutive games this line has been together. And wide receiver Andre Johnson returns from an injury after missing the last 6 games with a hamstring.
Every last one of those players, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, are all capable of making big plays in the passing game.
It's second down and 2. Foster. Oh, there's a fumble. Middleton knocked it away. Yabodi picks it up, and Yabodi will take it in. Touchdown.
Wow. And we talk about Matt Leinart having the services of a A-rated running game. But look at this one. Watch the hit right there. Ball comes out. It's almost as if he ran into his own teammate, Andre Johnson. Ball comes out. Middleton scoops it up, rightfully so. We told you that this was a top-rated defense without 5 starters in the lineup. They force Arian Foster to fumble. They scoop and score to put 7 on the board quickly.
You can see that. That's the longest active streak without a defensive touchdown. And Ashton Yabodi on the fumble by Foster. And Foster is not known to turn that ball over. Yabodi, 5 years of backup in Buffalo. He was cut in Tampa Bay's camp this past summer with an extra point on a defensive touchdown. 7-0 Jacksonville. Yabodi was signed last week off the street. Comes up with a trip to the big house there. Well, we told you Foster doesn't turn the ball over, and that number supports that. He fumbles right there, 7 the other way for the Jaguars.
Clearly an anomaly, but how about the score for the Jaguars on defense, where they've gone 50 games without creating a defensive touchdown?
Here's the return now by Sherrick McManus. He's out of Northwestern. And he finds room. And finally, the kicker brings him down after a 46-yard return. Josh Scobie is the one to get him.
Take a look at the touchdown, Kevin, because Middleton's going to come a long way. He's lined up here, and he's going to come here as Arian Foster comes around the top, and you'll see that ball will be punched right out. And take a look at it here. Middleton stays alert, stays on his feet. Ball comes out, and then there he goes, taking a look at the scoop and score. He's able to get it and take it in for a touchdown. It's actually Ashton Yabodi who scored on the touchdown.
It's first down and 10. Leinart underneath Foster. Very good receiving running back, brought down on the play by Russell Allen. That is a gain of 8. And Markham at about the 47-yard line. Now the defense, number 3 in the NFL. 5 regular starters are out. Mosley taking the place of Terrence Knighton on that line. We just saw Russell Allen make the stop. He's taking the place of Clint Session out for the year with a concussion in the secondary. Rasheem Mathis gone. Derek Cox is gone. Middleton and Yabodi will be starting. They've already had their fingerprints on this game. Second down and 2. Leinart. Owen Daniels tripped up. Down he goes at the 47-yard line. It is a loss of a yard. Yeah, there are some big names gone from Jacksonville's D.
5 starters from the defense out of today's game. Most importantly, how about Terrence Knighton in the middle? Clint Sessions, one of the best middle linebackers in the National Football League. And there are 2 starting corners in Cox and Rasheem Mathis. Matt Roth has also been really good on this team. So they're missing a lot on this defense, but the 5 backup guys are going to have to make their presence felt. We've already heard from Ashton Yabodi.
Mason is in third down and 3. Into the nickel. Almost picked off. Almost grabbed by Drew Coleman. The ex-Jet. 3 and out.
Drew Coleman matched up with the tight end over to the right of your screen. And if you're Matt Leinart, you got to go through your progressions quickly. And what did Kubiak tell him? If you telegraph this one, it should have been interception. Should have been caught by Coleman, and had he caught it, he would have returned it for a touchdown.
Jaguars, number 80, Mike Thomas.
Red Hartman will also kick off this game. He'll be punting, averaging about 43 yards a punt. Mike Thomas is back there. Fair caught, 8-yard line. Jacksonville's had it once, 3 plays punt, a Foster fumble, a Ubodi return, and 7-0 Jaguars.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by Allstate. Shop less, get more. Make one call to an Allstate agent.
We'll see how the Jaguars now play with the lead.
Let's see if Blaine Gabbert can get this offense going to even put more points on the board.
With a couple of tight ends, 1st and 10, Maurice Jones-Drew. Finally brought down by Kareem Jackson. Running for 18, first down to the 26.
Well, we told you that he can break tackles. He can make the 8th defender in the box miss right here, forcing Jonathan Joseph to miss. D'Amico Ryans, 59, overruns it as Maurice Jones-Drew cuts back for a really nice gain. That's how you get your team back in the really good field position.
He's got to be so difficult to tackle. He's so low to the ground.
Man, very powerful.
It's 1st and 10. Jones-Drew again. D'Amico Ryans brings him down. Gain of 4 to the 30-yard line.
And you're seeing all kinds of blocking up front where they're wanting to get downhill and come right at this Houston Texans defense. And Gary Kubiak told us, he said the reason why they've lost 4 straight games here in Jacksonville, one is they turned the ball over. We've seen them do that already today. And the other is they couldn't stop Maurice Jones-Drew, who's racked up a ton of yards throughout his career against this Texans defense.
It's 2nd down and 6. Gabbert. Lot of pressure in the pocket, going for his tight end Lewis, and coming right up the gut was Antonio Smith.
Oh, we talked about Gabbert identifying one-on-one coverage, and he was able to do it that time. He found his tight end Lewis, Mercedes Lewis, in man-to-man coverage. He's a big target. You would think it'd be hard to overthrow him, but that's exactly what Blaine Gabbert did. Now, he was under pressure, and there you see Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator for the Texans. He's going to bring loads of pressure on the rookie quarterback.
As he should. 3rd down and 6. Troy Nolan is the extra defensive back, and that is dropped on a quick slant. That's the 2nd one through the hands of Cecil Shorts, rookie out of Mount Union.
I got to tell you, this is a nice throw by Blaine Gabbert. He finds the one-on-one coverage, and Shorts comes underneath. He's open. The ball is thrown well, and Shorts has to make that catch. He makes the catch. It's going to be a first down. He failed the quarterback on that play.
Glover Quinn was covering. Jacoby Jones is deep back inside the 25. Nick Harris will punt. Jones from the 17. Got a block by Quinn, and then takes it out to about the 32-yard line. 53-yard punt, 16-yard return. Here comes Weinert. Here come the Texans, down by 7.
We're back in Jacksonville, and Kevin, you need a viable second option at the quarterback position. That's why the Raiders went out and got Carson Palmer to fill in for Jason Campbell, and then Vince Young has now replaced Michael Vick in Philly. It's Tyler Palko's chance to get an opportunity as he replaced Matt Castle in Kansas City, and Caleb Haney will have to replace Jay Cutler in Chicago to try to keep their playoff hopes on track. Now you take a look at Matt Schaub, one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League, had started for the Houston Texans, and now in comes Matt Leinart. And with 6 games remaining in a 2-game lead in the AFC South Division, he's got to prove he can get this team into the postseason. And we know Gary Kubiak's been told he's got to get his team into the playoffs. So a lot riding on Matt Leinart. And now you see the comparison between the two. In the 17 starts for Matt Leinart, only 7 wins. And you can see the passing yards per game from Schaub to Leinart, as well as touchdown to interception ratio. And Leinert's going to have to pick his game up, and he's going to get this team where they want to go.
After the Jacksonville punt, here's a 1st and 10. Russell Allen is on top of Arian Foster. That is a gain of 2, and he's up to the 34-yard line. You saw Schaub just a second ago. He's going to have surgery in Charlotte this Wednesday, but he is going to be a huge help, as Matt Leinart told us. He's going to be a huge help to the play calling, to the preparation and game day.
Oh, Schaub, obviously, I think it's a travesty, the fact that he's injured. And if this team does get into the postseason, players like Schaub and Mario Williams, they want to be there because they're longtime members of this franchise.
2nd and 8, Foster. Myers, the center, with a pull and a block on Middleton, and Allen is there again with the tackle. And out of bounds about the 41-yard line. Picks up 6 in the play, and they're going to be about 3 yards shy of a first down.
Arian Foster put the ball on the ground, led to the first score of the game by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He wants to be able to pop one. He wants to create a big play. Now, he's going to get maybe 25 touches, but Ben Tate, the backup running back, he'll get another 15 carries. Gary Kubiak told us we got to make sure that Ben Tate gets at least 12 to 15 carries.
Keep him involved.
Well, both guys are capable of putting up 100 yards rushing in a given game.
On 3rd and 2, Foster. Good block up front by Smith, and there he goes! Into the secondary and downfield to the 15-yard line. A terrific gallop by Arian Foster, the NFL's leading rusher a year ago, on a 43-yard season-long run.
Wow, now take a look at him at the mesh point right here. Bam, look at the block by the fullback kicking out. And then watch when he gets to the second level, his ability to pull away from defenders in coverage and creating even more yards at the second level of the defense. I don't think there's any offense that get their runners to the second level of the defense as well as the Houston Texans.
Tate is in from the 16, 1st and 10. Casey. And with a good beat on it was Darryl Smith. He's one of the best linebackers in the AFC. It's a catch and run of 5, and he's down to the 11.
Wow, it's just amazing. They come back with the reverse bootlegs. This defense just keeps you, or I should say this offense for Houston keeps you off balance. Well, they run it one way, and they'll reverse bootleg it the other way. And what a great play caller, I think, is Gary Kubiak, the head coach. He has this offense ranked near the top just about every single year since he's become their head coach.
Number 7 this season. 2nd and 5. It's Tate. Zigzags and corkscrews to the 3. He's got a first down. Terrific run of 8. 1st and goal. The Texans. The tackle made by Yabodi.
And what did Kubiak tell us about Ben Tate? That he's an edge runner? Well, how about in between the tackles? Look at that. 2 guys making contact. Takes a 3rd defender to get him on the ground, which is Yabodi. But look at this. Yards after contact. Tough running in between the tackles. In my mind, that's why this offense is so good. Yeah, they'll create big-time pass plays, but they can run it with the best of them.
Foster is in. 1st and goal. Arian got by Mincy, who slowed him up. Lynch was right there. A couple guys knocking him down. Gain of 1 for Arian Foster out of Tennessee.
Yeah, Jeremy Mincy got some penetration on the play and forced Arian Foster to have to break some tackles. Anytime you get leakage against this rushing attack, that's when they tend to have problems. If you're Jacksonville, you want to stop Houston from running the ball, you have to get penetration into their backfield.
And no one wants leakage. 2nd down and goal. Couple tight ends. Foster. Smith, the linebacker, got him again on a gain of a yard, down to the 1.
Well, Darryl Smith is the worker on this defense. Watch number 52 step up in the hole to meet Arian Foster. This is man on man, pads on pads. Great play by the linebacker for Jacksonville.
Number 3 defense in the NFL of the Jaguars, the number 1 defense in the NFL of the Houston Texans. We talked about this as a headline. 3rd and goal at the 1. Big run by Foster, gets him this deep. And that is a touchdown. Arian Foster, a 1-yard leap to Vader. his 7th touchdown run of the year.
Credit this to the offensive line. Chris Myers, Wade Smith, Dwayne Brown, Bryso, and Winston. Just a surge up front. You know, Matt Leiter is elated. He didn't have to throw it. He could just stick it into the belly of the back and watch him work the run game for a touchdown.
8 plays, 67-yard drive, and the #1 team in the NFL in terms of opening half score. Has already flexed their muscles and a point away from tying the game. Neil Rackers joined the team from Arizona as an unrestricted free agent a year ago. Will tack on another. It was a 43-yard run by Arian Foster, which got him deep and into Jacksonville scoring territory. Casey for 8. And then Foster goes airborne to tie it late in the first in Jacksonville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Well, it hasn't been since 2006 since Houston has won here against the Jaguars. Nice touchdown run and a 43-yard run along the way for that guy right there, Arian Foster.
Yeah, you need to create even more big plays. This Jaguar defense has allowed the fewest explosive plays of any defense in the league.
Another touchback, and Blaine Gabbert comes out for a 3rd try. Tuesday, the hottest women in the world walk the runway with Maroon 5. Kanye West, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj. Victoria's Secret fashion show, only on CBS. 3 and out, 4 and out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What do you think of Blaine Gabbert? What did you think when he came out of Missouri last season?
Well, I thought he maybe needed another year there. I really do. At the end of the day, you have to be able to carry your team, and you really have to just be able to complete passes at a high level of efficiency.
Well, here he's got a pretty efficient running back in Maurice Jones-Drew, brought down by Smith. Gain of 3 as we go to New York and James Brown.
Defenses love this, Shannon.
Yes, JB. 4th and goal. Last week they stopped the 4th and goal to win the game. They stopped the Bengals, Cedric Benson. Can't give me the night on that one, JB. Cincinnati holds a 7-0 lead.
Cleveland Wall got it done. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Well, Cincinnati Bengals need this win after dropping to Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Now going up against Cleveland in that division. It's a must-win for Cincinnati.
2nd down and 7. Good block by Monroe. Screen pass for Maurice Jones-Drew, slipping his way by 1. Then here comes Ryans, and here comes Cushing. It's a gain of 4 to the 26, back to New York.
Shannon, little trickery, they got it done.
JB, when you're struggling scoring off points offensively, Mark Mariani takes it 16 yards. Now Tommy Campbell has it. He takes it the rest of the way, 87 yards. It's a 100-yard kickoff in total, but it's still the same, JB. A touchdown. 7-3. Titans.
Back to Kevin and Solomon.
They're having way too much fun in that New York studio there.
Shannon's doing a great job.
3rd down and 3. Kareem was in outside for Dillard. They get the 1st down. At the 33-yard line, Jarrett Dillard the catch. 12th of the year, pickup of 6. They work on Jason Allen, 1st down Jaguars.
Well, Blaine Gabbert now starting to get into rhythm. We talked about you need to complete the easy throws, and now he's doing that. We saw him misfire on his first 4 pass attempts in the game. Now, he did have 2 drop, but I thought certainly there were opportunities to complete the ball to the 6'6" Mercedes Lewis and overthrew him and had another errant pass in the game, but now starting to get it going.
As I told you earlier, Danielle Manning is in the backfield, starting for the Texan defense. Pitch out here, Kareem. Jason, what nice pursuit right there. He was a defensive end. Now he's a linebacker. That's Connor Barwin. Loss of 4.
We're going to show you how Blaine Gabbert began the day, going 0 for 4 in his first 4 pass attempts. That one he overthrows the wide receiver. This one's tipped at the line of scrimmage, not finding a window for a completion. Overthrow this tight end, who I thought had beaten man-to-man coverage, and then one dropped on the play. And so if you're the quarterback and you're going to be the starter, you've got to get off to a better start of hitting guys when they get open. He's been able to complete his last 2 pass attempts.
4 in the secondary. Second down and 14. That's out of the reach of Dillard. 3rd and 14. Coverage on the play. They had Barwin, a linebacker, watching the wide receiver.
And the job is not to get the ball close to the receiver. You've got to hit the receiver. When he comes out of the break, ball's got to be on him. And you can see his demeanor, just the way he carries himself physically. And now he is a rookie quarterback. And I don't know that we can overly criticize him, but you've got to be able to show the confidence in the huddle that inspires the other 10 guys. But I think they're asking a lot of this young guy because he doesn't have that real go-to big-time, big-play wide receiver.
6 in the secondary, 3rd and 14. Gabbert, Maurice Jones-Drew got a great block, but he could not take advantage of it. And it is only a gain of 5. Meester threw the block. Quinn makes the stop, and the gain to the 34. Here comes another punt for the Jaguars.
Well-designed play. See, they're giving him some easy throws. Dump it off to Maurice Jones-Drew, but watch Glover Quinn. He's able to come up and make that tackle in space. Not easy to do against Maurice Jones-Drew.
Here's Jacoby Jones waiting the punt here from Nick Harris. He began the season here in Jacksonville with 16-year veteran Matt Turk. He was not doing the job, so they bring in Harris. Running for a 3rd time. Ooh, boy, they got close. Bad punt and great coverage by Shiloh Ko. 25-yard punt. Tied at 7 late in the first. Since 2007, NFL Play 60 has been traveling the country helping the youth of America to be more active and healthy. This spring, the NFL Play 60 bus will come to a new, deserving community, and it could be yours. Find out more at NFLRush.com/bus. 1st and 10, Andre Johnson. Flag is down as you see, curling his way to the 35. Good-looking throw by Leinart. 24-yard pickup as it stands now.
Pass interference, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Wipe it away, will not count.
Going to say Andre Johnson pushed off to get the advantage in coverage there. And Matt Leinart, he does have a go-to receiver. He's got Andre Johnson. You see the play action fake to Ben Tate, and then going to the second level where Johnson's wide open, but that's because they're saying he pushed the defender down where he was matched up in coverage against Ashton Yeboah.
With Tate in the backfield, 1st and 20 for Leinart. A little bit high, skipping incomplete. And a flag is thrown, and that time they were looking for the tight end, the angular Joel Dreesen.
Flag is down.
In fact, 2 of them. One back where the quarterback was setting up, and one near midfield. Walt Coleman is our referee today. He has worked a couple big games, including 2 conference championship games. Longtime NFL referee with his crew here today.
There are fouls on both teams. Personal foul, number 29 on the defense. Personal foul, number 76 on the offense. Those penalties offset. Still first down.
There's Dreesen. Now that's where they called it right there on Middleton. That's not good. Blow to the head, the back of the head to a defenseless player.
1st down and 20 again, Ben Tate. He'll squirm his way out to about the 32-yard line. Brought down on the play by former Bill Paul Leslie on a gain of 2.
Now let's see if Matt Leinart can get this thing going. They've called a really good game. You're going to get a good mix of run and pass to try to help Matt Leinart, but you know, for him, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, Kevin.
Well, a lot of times, you know, when they were talking about Leinart earlier in his career, they said he didn't have the work ethic, wasn't working hard enough at his craft.
And he told us that that was a misnomer, that he always worked hard. He said, I just didn't know how to work, and had to learn that from Kurt Warner during my 4 years in Arizona.
As he welcomes the second chance, he's got it 2nd down and 18 yards to go, and up beneath. That's Foster to the 39, brought down by Smith. That's a pickup to the 38 of 6.
You know, we talk about Matt Leinart and his work habits. He has this ritual he goes through before the game with quarterback coach Greg Knapp, where he comes out and he'll make every throw. He'll go through the entire route tree, and it's really about speeding up his footwork. If you have good footwork, they believe it allows you to speed up your progression. Go from receiver 1, 2, 3, and 4 very rapidly, getting the ball out very accurately. Let's see if it can help them in this game today.
It's 3rd and 12. Underneath again. Walter hit by Yabodi. Shy of the first down. 46-yard line. Pickup of 7. Texans have got to punt the ball. And there was a flag down, but it must be on the sideline.
Illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
3 and out. So some penalties on that play and on that drive. Yeah, you were talking about the footwork of the quarterback. Trust your feet is what they said. That can speed up the game for you, kind of what you were just talking about.
Yeah, he was telling us Gary Kubiak very demanding as a head coach, particularly on the quarterbacks and even more so on the backup quarterbacks, because he knows if you have quick feet, then the progression is going to increase in quarterback and get the ball out much faster.
The rookie free agent Brett Hartman knocks this out of the end zone on a 54-yard boot. Let's go back to New York and James Brown.
Benson stopped me once, but
JB, some say the lights are mighty bright on Broadway. That's what George Benson said. This is Cedric Benson, 16 yards away into the end zone. He couldn't pick up one, but he got a 16-yard touchdown, 7-7. Bengals. Brown.
Broadway. Back to Kevin and Solly.
Sounds like Clyde Frazier may be in the studio today. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah.
I like it.
Some poetic license. Here's a 1st and 10. After the punt, the 3 and out by the Texans, Maurice Jones-Drew. Working his way in there, brought down by Glover Quinn, who's the 2nd leading tackler on this Texan team. It's a gain of 4 near the 25, and that may be the final play of our first quarter. We saw a fumble by Arian Foster. Yabodi vacuumed it in, raced 38 yards for the touchdown. And then we had a 1-yard touchdown run by Arian Foster after a 43-yard run of his. Set up good position. Texans looking for their 5th consecutive win at the end of one. We're tied. Defensive touchdown by the Jacksonville Jaguars. A 1-yard touchdown fly-in by Foster, tied at 7. On this Thanksgiving weekend, hope your holiday has been safe and enjoyable. From the 24 to the 3 and out by the Texans. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Shorts was in motion. He's dropped 2 passes already. Jones-Drew as he stood up and belted on that line. What a great hit that time by Sean Cody. It's a gain of 1.
Wow. Cody
wow is right.
came in unblocked on that one. Take a look at the starting rookie quarterbacks from the draft class of 2011. Andy Dalton clearly ahead of the class when it comes to wins and overall production, followed by Cam Newton. But Blaine Gabbert, he's yet to have that, quote, breakout game that the team is looking for. Christian Ponders had at least one of those games with the Minnesota Vikings, and I think Blaine Gabbert, that's what they're waiting to get from him here in Jacksonville. Put up the numbers, get the wins for your football team.
Here is a 3rd and 5. Gabbert, Maurice Jones-Drew. Brought down by Jason Allen. It's a 31-yard catch and run to the 43-yard line of Houston.
Maurice Jones-Drew matched up against Troy Nolan in coverage. Watch number 33 coming across the screen here, and see how he gets caught up in traffic, does Nolan, and that's what frees up Maurice Jones-Drew. Goes wide open, and Blaine Gabbert can't help but hit him coming across the middle. So easy throw. I don't want to say they ran a pick, but certainly Nolan got caught up in the traffic. That's what cleared Jones-Drew to get open in the clear.
JD taking a little breather there. Montel Owens is in the backfield for Blaine Gabbert on 1st and 10. Oh, and he's got his receiver right there. That's Cecil Shorts. Hit and brought down by Jonathan Joseph. 25-yard strike to the 19 of Houston.
Now the rookie quarterback is showing me something. Working against Jonathan Joseph. Watch this throw. That back foot in the ground, ball comes out right on the money. Look at that, to Shorts. This is just a good throw. Now look at the top of your screen. Jonathan Joseph Shorts gets a little separation on the bend in. As soon as he turns his head, the ball is on top of him. Excellent throw with velocity and accuracy from Blaine Gabbert.
First catch in Cecil Shorts' career. I should say Cecil Shorts the third. 1st and 10. Kareem hobbled up inside. Cody a gain of 2. Down to the 17-yard line. That rhythm is so important for a quarterback. Some running, you combine the two, and you get some momentum, some tempo to your offense.
Goes a long way to helping the offensive line. You notice Gabbert had the protection. It makes it easier for him because it was a one-man route. He read it perfectly and got the ball out quickly. And now he's starting to attack the Houston Texans defense. We've given a lot of credit for their improvement coming into this game.
For the secondary, 2nd down and 8. Gabbert. That's the tight end, Mercedes Lewis out of UCLA. Down to the 3, a Pro Bowler a year ago. He picks up 14, 1st and goal, pushing to stop Jacksonville now in scoring territory.
Lewis goes 6'6", 275 pounds. Hard to miss him over the middle of the field. In fact, he should be getting even more action. He came in with only 23 receptions in this game. If I'm a rookie quarterback, I'm looking for Lewis early and often in the middle of the field, especially down here inside the red zone.
Here's Maurice Jones-Drew back in the game, 1st and goal. Jones-Drew. Jamison got him. No gain on the play. Just finishing up on Mercedes Lewis. He's coming off a 7-reception, 64-yard best game of the season performance last week in Cleveland.
And should get even more balls. And now they're in this goal-to-go situation, Kevin. And the Jaguars have struggled in this situation. They've had 10 possessions where they've been goal-to-go and only scored 4 touchdowns. 40%, that ranks dead last in the NFL.
It's 2nd down and goal at the 3. Touchdown. Oh, he dropped it. Holy smokes. That's the guy we're just boasting on there, Mercedes Lewis. He couldn't have been more open. 3rd drop pass today by Jacksonville.
That was our setup.
Yeah,
I mean, we were setting it up. We were saying, hey, got to go to Mercedes Lewis in the middle of the field, down inside the red zone. It's exactly what they do, and he drops it. The best target. Now, we talk about the ability to help a rookie quarterback. You've got to catch this for Blaine Gabbert. What does it do for his confidence? What does it do for his ability to lead the team and put you in a, in terms of the lead on the scoreboard? You've got to make that catch for Blaine Gabbert.
It's 3rd and goal. Maurice Jones-Drew with the good block, and that's over the head of Lewis, who was covered on the play by Glover Quinn, and now they're going to have to settle for 3. That is so disheartening for a team that is 3-7 and trying to cobble any kind of success on offense they can find.
Oh, he's a former 1st-round pick, just signed a new contract. Look at this one. Maybe he lost it in the sun. I'm not sure. I think you see the shadows behind him, so I got to imagine he's looking back into the sun. But that's why you got to catch the first one. In the NFL, rarely do you get those second opportunities to redeem yourself so quickly.
Lewis has struggled with drop passes most of this season.
Wow.
And we just saw maybe as costly a one as you're going to find. Here is the Josh Scobie 21-yard field goal, which gives Jacksonville their 2nd lead today, but they could have had much more early 2nd. Moments ago, they had, look at, Del Rio, huh? It's a pep talk, and it's a lot of character there for Del Rio to smile because that was 6.
Yeah, screaming and yelling at a point like this with a veteran player like Lewis, that's not the difference maker. What you want to do is tell him, hey, we're going to come back to you.
Yep.
You're going to have an opportunity to make good on that mistake. We want you to catch the ball.
That's back in the out-of-bounds area. Sherrick McManus catching it on the chalk. Here comes Weinert, his offense, and the Texans down by 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And by AT&T, get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
Beautiful holiday weekend here in the 70s. The St. Johns River snaking its way around Jacksonville. Wednesday, join Lady Gaga and your favorite superstars when LL Cool J hosts the Grammy nominations concert live. Texans team riding a 4-game winning streak and losing here by 3 early in the second.
They've had to overcome several injuries. We talked about the 6 games lost by wide receiver Andre Johnson, Mario Williams out for the year. And Gary Kubiak said we kind of see that as a badge of honor, our ability to replace a starter once they go down.
It's Arian Foster. Wrapped up nicely and taken down in the play. Waylaid, Selby, and Mosley. Loss of a yard to New York.
To the Hall of Famer, tight end action.
JB, this is the way you answer a touchdown. With one of your own. 3-yard touchdown reception, Dustin Keller. Tie ball game. 7-7. Jets, Bills.
8:52 left in the first half. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Pretty important game in the AFC East, as you were talking about.
That's a big game. The winner continues to keep their playoff hopes alive. The loser probably over.
2nd and 10. Foster. Oh, there was a nice block on that line by Mike Brizell. It's a gain of 8, and Foster wheels his way to the 27-yard line.
Well, they get one cut in this running game for the Houston Texans. Watch this. Stick the foot in the ground. There he goes. See, find the cut. Running to daylight is Arian Foster. Gary Kubiak says he gets better as the game goes on. He fumbled on his first carry, and now you see him getting positive gains and runs for chunks here later on.
It's 3rd down and 3 for Leinart. Foster stopped on the play. Because Lesney was there. No gain. They got a punt again. Nice linebacker play by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This defense, they spent a lot of money to improve this defense, and boy, has it paid off. They come in ranked 3rd overall defensively coming into today's game. And you can see Paul Posluszny. He was one of those offseason pickups via free agency. And boy, has he played a well of a season on defense for Jackson.
Ron Landry is in there as well. Here's Hartman with the punt for the Texans. Mike Thomas is back. And out of bounds, here he goes. And hit by Nading initially, and then brought down the long snapper, John Weeks, a former college walk-on, had a hand on him. 3-yard return, halfway through the second in Jacksonville. So the Texans have 3 punts and a 1-yard touchdown run by Foster. Jacksonville has 3 punts and a field goal plus a fumble recovery by Ashton Yebote and a touchdown. And the Jaguars get it back for the 28, 1st and 10. Maurice Jones-Drew. Antonio Smith got him high. That is a gain of 3. He's up to the 31-yard line.
Kevin, one reason why Jacksonville ranks near the bottom of the league in their goal-to-go situation, they don't take advantage of the scoring opportunities. Drop pass by Mercedes Lewis, and then another one where he loses the ball in the sunlight. So they were 1st and goal on the 3-yard line, and Jack Del Rio's group still can't punch it in for a score. They're going up against a Houston Texans team who you know can score 27 points a game. So the points are going to come at a premium for Jackson.
On 2nd down and 7. Here comes J.J. Watt. And there goes the pass. Incomplete. Thomas was down there. They love this kid Watt.
You got to love J.J. Watt. And he and Brooks Reed are 2 young draft picks. 1st round is J.J. Watt. Brooks Reed, defensive end, has had a sack in each of their last 4 games. He was the 2nd round pick. And Wade Phillips, he's got a lot to work with on this defense. D'Amico Ryans and Cushing are veterans who are already here. They're big-time playmakers, and that's why you have the league's #1 ranked defense. You have the genius of Wade Phillips, but he's got some talent to work with this group here in Houston.
6 in the secondary, 3rd down and 7. He's got time, and he crawls away. There was nice movement up front. Connor Barwin disrupted the play. A loss of 6. Another punt coming up. Barwin, who has played all over the field. He's a former college basketball player.
Yes, he is. Look at that up and under move, splitting defenders, crawling on the ground. Anything he can do to get at the feet of Blaine Gabbert. Oh, this is a talented group. I think they're only going to get better, Kevin, as the season goes on.
So Barwin gets his 5th sack of the season. Nick Harris will boot this baby downfield. And Jacoby Jones. Got a block from McCain. The punter to beat. And there he goes. Down the sideline. Chaston West knocks him out of bounds. The electrifying Jacoby Jones with a good-looking run back to the 26, a 42-yard return. Setting up Leinart, setting up the Texan offense. They'll have it in outstanding beginning field position.
Well, that's what Matt Leinart needs. We've said that Matt Leinart would have a lot to work with because they can run the ball. You have a big play threat in Andre Johnson, but also when you have Jacoby Jones setting you up on special teams, creating a short field for you. And I think this is where Leinart has to come through for his team. You only can manage it for so long. Sooner or later, you have to make a play. When you're given this kind of field position, let's see if he can make a play.
On the 26, 1st and 10. Fake to Arian Foster. Underneath Foster. He was hit by Yabodi and brought down on the play by Russell Allen. On a catch and run of 6. Coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. We'll take you to our studios in New York. JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher. Scores, news, and NFL highlights on the Sprint Halftime Report. 2nd down.
Yards most in the NFL. They normally score touchdowns when they get this kind of field position.
2nd and 4. That didn't fool Mincy, and he's got his tight end. Look at the big man take it in. Treason. Joel Treason with the catch and the 6. A 20-yard strike. Leinart to his tight end.
And what a throw from Matt Leinart. Everyone is happy for Leinart on this one. Because with pressure in his face on the reverse rollout, he goes one way, comes back the other. See the tight end downfield? Look, pressure in the face of Leinart and throws a bullet to Dreesen. Look at the pressure by Mincy in his face, and then just a nice throw to his tight end over the middle of the field. That's what Gary Kubiak expects from any of his quarterback, whether you're the starter or the backup.
You know, the play action of the Texans may be as good as any play action in the entire landscape of the NFL.
I love it simply because it has that rollout action as well. So they're moving the pocket with that play action fake.
So Leinart finds his tight end after a great Jacoby Jones punt return, which sets it up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And by the Philips Norelco Senso Touch 3D. A great shave, dry or wet, with gel or foam.
Our aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife, downtown Jacksonville. We just saw a touchdown pass to the tight end Dreesen, Leinart's first since December of 2008 when he was with Jacoby Jones. The ensuing kickoff. Kareem with the ground ball at the 1. Knocked down from behind Sherrick McManus. There may have been a fumble on the 22-yard return. As they unravel them. I know that the Texans have forced a lot of turnovers. In 9 straight games they have forced one. Still down there. It looks like the Jaguars have kept it. Krasinski, number 42, a defensive back, may have kept it for longtime NFL head coach Jack Del Rio.
Now take a look at it. Yes, the ball does come out. See the ball out? Jaguars at the bottom of the pack able to come away with it.
Jaguars coming in. There's Kareem, who was hit from behind. Jaguars coming in have lost 2 of their last 3 after starting the season 1-5. On their own 24, 1st and 10. Batted down. And knocked away by the fullback, Greg Jones, on what could have been an interception. Incomplete.
Let's take a look at the touchdown by Matt Leinart. I think it's an excellent throw because Dreesen's going to come across the field here, but pressure in his face from Mincy, the defensive end. And take a look at it. This is pressure right in his face. Doesn't have a lot to work with right here. And look at this. Look at the tight window of defenders there. But he still throws it with pressure in his face, delivers a strike. That tells you Matt Leinart's ready to play at a high level. You see the improvement and confidence that he has in his game.
2nd down and 10. Little high right there going for Lewis. Coverage on the play by Glover Quinn.
I'll go right back to Matt Leinart for one more comment. Remember, I asked Gary Kubiak, I said that when he came to this team, what was the state of mind? He said you could tell he was a quarterback that had lost a lot of his confidence. And so when you lose confidence, if you can coach him back to playing at a high level, I think that's when you know Gary Kubiak's doing a really good job. They were able to work with the young quarterback, and now they're getting some results. They're going to have to lean on him heavily if they're going to make it to the playoffs.
Here is a 3rd down and 10 for Gabbert. He's missed his last 5 consecutive passes. Again going deep, looking for Hill. That baby is picked off. Jonathan Joseph may be the best free agent signing this year in the NFL. Hold on to the ball as you race out of bounds. A pickoff of Gabbert, a 30-yard return, and the Houston Texans intercept the pass in their 10th consecutive game.
Jonathan Joseph just plays it smartly, and Blaine Gabbert should have never thrown this ball because his receiver was never open. Joseph was in great position. He stayed on top in coverage. Here you see him right here at the top of the field, right there on the outside of your screen. Now take a look. See him, he high points the ball. And see, he has a better opportunity to get the ball more than anyone else. And Blaine Gabbert just heaves that one while in pressure, just throws it up almost like a punt. And then Jonathan Joseph is able to make the interception.
In great beginning field position, this time at the 34 of the Jaguars for Matt Leinart with a 1st and 10. Foster with the fake and the drop at the 30-yard line. They almost, when you're just extending the story on Leinart, you started the last series. They said, as you mentioned, his confidence was shot. They basically just started from scratch to rebuild
They
him.
had to start from scratch. He said the confidence is now back. He said he saw some signs of leadership. He said, but his confidence when he had left Arizona was at an all-time low. Give Gary Kubiak the credit of working with quarterbacks. We've seen him do it with Matt Schaub when he left Atlanta and came to Houston, and now he's done it with Matt Leinart.
About in 10, this is Arian Foster. Having the play brought down by Puz Lesney. That is a gain of a yard down to the 33. Leinart threw his last touchdown pass before today on December 21st, 1,072 days ago. Larry Fitzgerald in Foxborough, 78 yards.
Just so you know, that was, 3 years ago. That was in the season finale where they got waxed by the New England Patriots. And Ken Wisenhunt got Arizona to a Super Bowl where they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Andre Johnson has yet to catch a pass. 3rd down and 9. Foster grabbed on the play by Paul Puz Lesney. It's a loss of 2 back to the 35, so they can't do anything with this great beginning field position. They'll try for 3. Puz Lesney and the defense do their job for the Jaguars.
Puz Lesney did an excellent job of beating the intended block by Jacoby Jones to make that tackle in space. Beat the blocker and still able to corral Arian Foster, who we've already seen him. He's an excellent receiver coming out of the backfield. We know he can run it, but he already leads all receivers with 5 catches in this game so far.
Neil Rackers will try a 53-yard field goal. There is a breeze in his face. And it has the distance, and it is good from 53. His long this year, 54. The lead grows for the Texans.
Let me know, because I'm sitting there clicking.
I know you're clicking, but you know what? This Houston quarterback, Leinart, is kind of clicking too.
He is clicking in this offense, and give Gary Kubiak a lot of credit. As we talked about, the play calling I think the ability to have that reverse bootleg, dragging the tight ends, and understanding where to go with the ball. As you can see, he's over there talking with Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub is working with Leinart. I think you've got yourself two backup quarterbacks. And I think that when this is all said and done, they're going to find themselves saying that, hey, we're in a really good position with Matt Schaub and Matt Leinart. And if Leinart's going to achieve the promise, he's going to get this team into the playoffs, but he's got some games to win first.
Jonathan Joseph picks off the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Gabbert returns it into good beginning field position. They get a 53-yard field goal from Rutgers, and here's the ensuing kickoff a yard deep. KJ Kareem out of Southern Illinois. Draft choice. Oh, and he busts free, and he's being chased by Jackson. And Kareem brings him down from behind that. Kareem Jackson is a fast guy. 33-yard return. For more than 30 years, it has been must-see TV. It's what the pros watch, unscripted, unrehearsed, unpredictable. James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, and Warren Sapp. It's Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime. So first down and 10 from the 32-yard line for Gabbert in the offense. Gabbert really began well. He has now been staggering a little bit. The rookie's got to regain that tempo.
While under pressure, he must remain poised.
Maurice Jones-Drew under the tight end with a block. Unleashing Maurice Jones-Drew. Great move. Finally, the defensive lineman, J.J. Watt, brings him down. He runs all the way to the 37, 29-yard run.
You know, his ability to hit the edge. And I watched number 24, Jonathan Joseph. He comes in to make the tackle, and see that little stiff arm move there? A little limp leg by Maurice Jones-Drew. He fakes as if he's going to cut it up, but then bounces it outside. Just an excellent run by Maurice Jones-Drew, beating again that unblocked defender at the point of attack.
And he's over 1,000 yards for a third consecutive year. In fact, he's had 1,300 plus the last two. Kareem is in right now, 1st and 10. Gabbert. Mercedes Lewis. Upended there by Glover Quinn. It's a gain of 2 to the 37.
Well, you know, they're trying to do anything to get Mercedes Lewis going.
You're right. They have tried a lot.
But if you're Brad Meester, you got to be able to make the block too, because he's right there on the defender. He gets one block, and he'll spring Lewis to get to the first down marker. You can see 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard season for Maurice Jones-Drew. The heart and soul of this football team.
2-time Pro Bowler, number 2 rusher coming into today, number 1 in the AFC, number 2 in back of LaShawn McCoy of Philadelphia. In the entire NFL, 2nd down and 8 for Gabbert. That's Jarrett Dillard, ripped down by Cushing. It's a gain of 3, and he's to the 34.
Gabbert just trying to find something to work with, something that's going to allow this offense to gain some kind of consistency.
Well, we've reached the 2-minute warning. We've had a defensive touchdown by Jacksonville, a 1-yard touchdown leap by Arian Foster. You don't think Maurice Jones-Drew is important to this Jacksonville offense?
Oh, he's everything, and we talked about it. He's the engine that drives this offense, and boy, he plays with a lot of heart and determination.
6 defensive backs out there for Wade Phillips and his defense, 3rd down and 5. Chased by Connor Barwin and brought down again. That is a loss of 2. His 2nd sack today.
Yeah, Connor Barwin, 98, bottom of your screen. Look at him work, continue to work, and then chase Blaine Gabbert getting down to the ground before Antonio Smith can get there to claim the prize.
Connor Barwin, last 4 years, he's gone from a defensive end to a tight end at the University of Cincinnati his senior year. Then this year, Wade Phillips moved him to a linebacker from defensive end, all mixed in with his college basketball background. That's a versatile kid, former 2nd-round pick out of the Bearcat program a couple years ago. Well, coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Sprint Halftime Report with James Brown and Company, scores, news, and highlights. That's the Sprint Halftime Report from New York. The distance and And he does not have the accuracy wide right. That baby would have gone 65.
And I don't think you can question Jack Del Rio's decision to go for it. You said it. He had made every last one of his kicks from beyond 50 yards. Clearly the wind at his back. He had enough leg to get it through. He was just inaccurate on the kick. So I think if you're Jack Del Rio, you know you need points. You got to help your rookie quarterback. That was a scoring opportunity missed by Josh Scobie and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And look where the Texans take over at the 45.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the ball here, but Jack Del Rio didn't think they were going to miss the kick, did he?
Nope. So again, Houston with great beginning field position. 1st and 10. They've got 2 timeouts left. Liner, 10 and 12. Incomplete, great pressure up the middle. That was Mincy, who has emerged this year, persevered. He's had a very tough go at it, but he's really blossoming this season.
Look at Liner. Just get rid of it because you want to set up the screen, but instead of taking the sack, be smart. He threw it right to the feet of Arian Foster. He took a shot on that left shoulder,
too.
He
sure did. The backup, by the way, inactive for the first time this season is North Carolina 5th-round rookie T.J. Yates. He is now the backup and active for the first time today. Another timeout taken. Texans will talk it over. 1:41 to play in the first half. Well, we just talked about him. T.J. Yates is in. Holds most of the North Carolina passing records. First game he's been active. 2nd down and 10. Arian Foster down to the 45. Good looking run. Picks up 10 on the play.
Take a look at the left shoulder. Look at this. Driving into the ground, and when you land on that shoulder, like he did with the weight of Mincy on your back, of North Carolina for a couple of years, and that is something else. An 8th rookie quarterback. This is just amazing for him to come into the game at this point. Do you let him throw it here? Do you continue to run it?
Well, he's going to the locker room. He's gone. He is going to the locker room. They're going to go check him out. But this is the 3rd Houston quarterback in less than 2 games. How about this? You talk of, here's a first-place team that's won 4 in a row with the table set in their division. 1st and 10. Yates at the 45, his first NFL pass. That is grabbed on the play, caught by Owens. It's a pickup. Second down and 5. On the screws, caught by Jacoby Jones. Grabbed on the play by Kevin Rutland. That's a first down to the 30-yard line. Another pickup of 10. He looks good back there. Of course, he hasn't had time to think about it.
He didn't even have time to warm up.
Oh, my gosh. 1st and 10. Oh. Gets it back and throws out of bounds wisely. In the vicinity of that pass was Owen Daniels. You can almost wonder what's going through his head. 2nd down and 10. Here are the injured Texans this season.
Arian Foster missed the first 2 games with a hamstring injury to start the season. 6 games missed by Andre Johnson. Mario Williams out for the season, and so is their starting quarterback, Matt Shaw. But now looks like Matt Leinart, their 2nd quarterback, has been knocked out of the game. Blitzing, and so he gets rid of the ball and gets it over to Daniels. Look at the pressure right in the face of the quarterback. Here comes Daniels over the middle of the field. T.J. Yates staring down the gun a little bit on that blitz play to find his open tight end in the middle of the field.
Again, he has not been active all season, but now he is the backup with the injury to Schaub, the insertion of Leonard. First and goal at the 6. Out of bounds. Played for Butch Davis at North Carolina, who is now gone as the Carolina head coach. 2nd down and goal.
Smart play. Just get rid of it. No one's open. You just dump it off. T.J. Yates in a very tough position. How about you start this drive off going 3 for 4? And now they're going to call it
intentional grounding. Offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty. Lost it down. Second down.
Oh, give him a break.
No, I said it was a smart play. I think you got to get rid of it. You certainly don't want to take the sack there. You see, but if you're in between the tackles and it's not near an intended receiver, see, he's in that tackle box and it's not near an intended receiver. That's why they're calling it intentional grounding.
There's a 10-second runoff because of the penalty. It stays second down and goal now at the 16.
Hey, he's second down.
High defensive backs for Jack Del Rio's Jacksonville Jaguars. Arian Foster up nicely as he tried to bounce outside. Not a lot of room. John Chick from the Canadian Football League brings him down. No timeouts. Clock continues to tick. It's third and goal. They spike it. Now fourth and goal. And they'll go for 3. So Yates got him down there with a couple of catches by Owen Daniels and then one by Jacoby Jones.
Yeah, if you're Gary Kubiak, you are concerned, nonetheless. Because Yates comes in, he makes a couple of plays, gets him into field position with the throw to Owen Daniels. And it is their hope that Neil Racker, he can make good on this field goal kick and give them 3 more points before halftime.
33-yard try by Neil Rackers. He'll nail it 20-10. The Texans have gone on top by 10, but their concerns now a lot greater. We have 2 seconds to play here in the first half in Jacksonville. Got a sports fan on your list? Avoid the crowds with CBSSports.com shop. And this weekend only, get free standard shipping on all officially licensed gear. Enter CBS free during checkout at shop.cbssports.com. Here you are with maybe the best team in the long tenure you've had as a head coach of this team. You've lost 2 quarterbacks in less than 2 games. You've got a first-place ball club, a talented team ready to go to the playoffs, and now you're down to your 3rd-string quarterback.
Whoa.
How about this?
Get the ball back.
And picked up by Quentin Dents. They'll go to a knee. That'll take us to halftime. There's a lot on the plate for the first-place Houston Texans now. We have gotten no word yet on the health of Matt Leinart, who looked good while in, including a touchdown pass to his tight end, Dreesen. We had a defensive touchdown by Jacksonville, but now all eyes are on the rookie from North Carolina, T.J. Yates, who is the 3rd quarterback, who was just walking off moments ago, you saw, with Matt Schaub. At halftime, the first-place Texans lead the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-10. They'll take a word from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS. Texans have a 2-game lead in the AFC South, but they're down to their 3rd-string quarterback right now. And no word, by the way, on injured quarterback Matt Leinart. When we find out, you will find out. But first half thoughts.
Yeah, with T.J. Yates coming into the game, I just believe that the Houston Texans are going to have to rely more on their run game. And something they did in the first half, but they have to do it more so in the second half.
All right, Solomon, let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Well, Matt Leinart, before he was knocked out of the game, played well, made some nice throws, connected with Joel Dreesen over the middle of the field. Matt Leinart to the big tight end, Joel Dreesen, for the touchdown toss, giving them a nice lead so far in the game.
And through 30 minutes of football, these are some of the numbers. We just got word that Leinart will not return. He does have a shoulder injury, but we are not being told the severity of it. And hopefully, before we sign off, we'll have word on that. We're going to see T.J. Yates. What do you think was told to him in the locker room in a very short halftime period?
Don't turn the ball over. Protect the football, because with a 10-point lead, as well as they can run it, and as good as their defense is, only turnovers will betray you when you have this 10-point lead on the road. And take a look at the quarterback play. Matt Leinart, we said he got off to a good start, getting the ball over to Dreesen for his touchdown pass in this game. Blaine Gabbert careless with the ball, just throwing it up, intercepted by Jonathan Joseph. Mincy comes in, lands on Matt Leinart, driving that shoulder in the ground. He's knocked out of the game, but TJ Yates looked good on that drive. 3 of 6, connecting with Owen Daniels, getting a field goal before halftime, and that's why they have the 10-point lead.
The emergency quarterback is Owen Daniels, former quarterback at the University of Wisconsin in his early days in Madison. 1st and 10, Arian Foster. Brought down by C.J. Mosley on a gain of a yard.
There you see the quarterback comparison, and only the turnovers can betray you. Blaine Gabbert has done that, and now T.J. Yates, being a young quarterback himself, I think in this second half, rely on the running game, rely on defense, don't do anything risky with the football.
Wonder where that was written on his play sheet right there. 2nd down and 9. Brown with another good block at the left tackle. That is incomplete. They were looking for Daniels, and the coverage on the play by William Middleton out of a small school, Furman, in Greenville, South Carolina.
Now take a look at him. Watch when he hit the top of his drop. Look at the footwork. Okay, the ball doesn't come out quick enough. See, when he turned around, ball's got to be on him or not thrown at all. The ball could have been intercepted, because defensively, if you're Mel Tucker, you teach intercept all tips and overthrow.
This is the number 3 ranked defense in the NFL of Jacksonville. 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 9. Incomplete. Andre Johnson is still not caught. A pass today, 3 and out, and the Texans have got a punt in their first second half possession.
And they're going 3 and out. Not something this Houston Texans offense is accustomed to doing, but now when you're down to your 3rd string quarterback, I'm surprised they threw it more times than I thought they would on that first possession here in the second half.
I will say this about Jacksonville: they have forced the 2nd most 3 and outs of any defense in the NFL. Here's the punt by Hartman. Mike Thomas at about the 30-yard line. They build a wall, and then Kane got him. Loses a yard, 48-yard punt. Play is stopped with a player down and a flag thrown. The player down momentarily, but now back up is Tim Dobbins. And the flag is down at the 27. Jaguars come in 3 and 7, losing 2 of their last 3. Texans come in 7 and 3, having won 4 straight.
Illegal block in the back. Number 24 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
That is the first penalty against Jacksonville this afternoon. Here comes Blaine Gabbert, down by 10 early in the 3rd on CBS. After the Texans 3 and out, they punt the ball from the 20-yard line. Jacksonville 1st down and 10. Missouri rookie quarterback Blaine Gabbert to Maurice Jones-Drew in the secondary, brought down by Glover Quinn. Moved to safety after starting at cornerback last couple years. It's a pick of a 5.
Now, one thing you can say about Maurice Jones-Drew is he keeps the offense on schedule. You give it to him on 1st down, he's going to create favorable 2nd down opportunities and 3rd and short. Look at the tackle by Quinn in the open field on Jones-Drew.
Not an easy thing to do.
Not an easy thing to do for Wade Phillips' defense.
2nd down, 5. Jones-Drew again. Holding on. First time we've talked today about Brooks Reed. And that is a gain of a yard. A 2nd-round pick out of Arizona, taking the place of the injured Mario Williams. This is a good-looking player.
Oh, he's a really good football player. We said that he had a sack in each of his last 4 games. He's tied for the lead in terms of sacks for this football team coming into today's game. And he's done a wonderful job of replacing Mario Williams. He's made his presence felt and his ability to get to the quarterback.
It's 3rd down and 4. Nice catch. Mercedes Lewis has the 1st down. Quinn was there. Gain of 6. Demps makes the stop. Quentin Demps, which led 7th-round pick by Philadelphia.
It'll be interesting to see just how good Blaine Gabbert can be when the people around him start making plays, much in the same way Maurice Jones-Drew has done as a runner, and Mercedes Lewis and some of these wide receivers have to do that for him as wide receivers in the passing game.
Since Lewis dropped that sure touchdown pass, 3 of 7, Gabbert through the air.
Yeah, he just needs some help. Need the guys around him to start making plays.
Owens in the backfield. Here comes one. There goes Gabbert. Caught by Jason Hill. Brought down across the way by Jonathan Joseph, who has a pick earlier in the game. It's a gain of 3. He's up to the 35.
What a nice throw by Blaine Gabbert. What did Maurice Jones-Drew tell us about him? He said he never rattles under pressure. And Maurice Jones-Drew said, I spend a lot of time with him. They spend time playing video games, and Maurice Jones-Drew just tells him, hey, all you got to do is when you go out and play, just think about it like when you were in high school. Don't try to put too much pressure on yourself. Just go out and have fun.
He likes to play that NBA 2K12 game. 2nd down and 7. Montel Owens. Not a lot right there. Owens only his 6th carry of the season. There's Sean Cody once again getting off that pile. The ex-Lion, a loss of a yard.
And now the Houston Texans defense creating a more favorable 2nd down, or I should say 3rd and 8 situation for Wade Phillips. Let's see if they come after Blaine Gabbert a little bit. He's been very comfortable in the pocket on his last couple of pass attempts, but when you get him into 3rd and long, that's when you usually send the blitz package.
6 defensive backs out there for the Texans. 3rd down and 8. Kareem bobbled it. Incomplete. Does Gabbert look a little gun shy to you when that pressure comes, even though it really wasn't that heavy that time?
Yeah, I just think when the pressure gets around him, his vision comes down and gets a little antsy with the football. Take a look at it, and I think the pocket was clean. But look at this here. Yeah, there's people crawling around his feet. You see him start to try to flinch and fade away as he's throwing it, but yet there was no white jersey posing imminent danger to Blaine Gabbert.
4 drops now by the Jaguars today. Here's a punt from Nick Harris. Kobe Jones, who earlier in this game had a nice punt return for the Texans. He'll dance, and Montel Owens will bring him down. Earlier, a 42-yard return by Jones. That time he gets a yard. Here comes T.J. Yates in the offense of the Texans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the One, the Accord from Honda.
Just to clean up on Leinart, you saw the hit just as we're coming out of halftime. He broke his collarbone, which opened the door for Kurt Warner when he was at Arizona.
Yeah, and we can only hope that that's not the case.
It's down in 10. Ben Tate out of Auburn. Look at him weave his way into the secondary. Brought down by George Selvey. It is a gain of 11.
One guy's back into the lineup is Andre Johnson. Of course, as he attracts so much attention, the ball going elsewhere in the offense. Only targeted once in this game. Here you see the incompletion. Now he did catch one and had that play called back via a penalty. So really he's been thrown to once, 0 completions or receptions by the wide receiver.
Tate remains. 1st and 10. Here he goes again. This is the most potent 1-2 running punch in the NFL. Yabodi makes the stop right there between what Tate does and Arian Foster. They're the number 1 tandem. It's a gain of 4. He's up to the 36.
Well, if they can get the run game going, does that cover up a multitude of sins or problems you may have by playing the 3rd-string quarterback? If you can get Arian Foster and Ben Tate going, they've had games where each have rushed for 100 yards in the same game. So they're very capable of putting up huge numbers, sharing the load.
2nd down and 6. Tate again. Wrapped up by Alu on that defensive line. He's out of Cal. He's a number 1 pick. He has started since day 1. Gobbles him up. Gain of a yard. Up to the 38.
Good movement by Alu, number 93. Watch him taking away that cutback lane, getting his head across. See right there how he comes off the blocker? And if he's not there, Ben Tate's going to pop it to that 2nd level of the defense. There you see Talked about him out of Cal. He's been a good player since coming to Jacksonville.
Yates on 3rd down and 4. They got a block on Mincy, but he has to throw it away. They had pressure up the middle, and it came from Nate Collins. They got to punt again. Good defense by the Jaguars. 4-place punt for the Texans.
Jacksonville Jaguars defense, they're dialing it in right now. If you could just get something from their offense and try to get a score, they'll find themselves back in this game. Gary Kubiak trying to figure out something to help his offense.
Hartman, the rookie. Good hang time here. Short, kicking out of bounds inside the 25. So here comes Gabbert, and the Jacksonville Jaguars down by 10. Back in Jacksonville on November 15th, Kasim Osgood visited Middleburg Elementary, participating in the Play 60 Ultimate PE class as part of the NFL's Play 60 Super School program. One of the ongoing themes in the NFL season. We just had a 4-and punt by the Texans, and on the 24-yard line, Blaine Gabbert, rookie out of Missouri, 1st down and 10.
Haven't seen the Jacksonville Jaguars attempt to throw the ball down the field. They average 129 passing yards per game, and they're not pushing the ball down the field at all.
Gabbert blitzes on Barwin. He's got 2 sacks, and that is that Watt who comes through right there? That's the 3rd sack, and it's Connor Barwin with 3 sacks today on rookie quarterback Gabbert.
They never blocked him. Look at the top of your screen. He comes free immediately. And Blaine Gabbert is running for his life back there. Just another breakdown by the offensive line in terms of pass protection. You see him just come off the right side? They never blocked him. Connor Barwin is just feasting on Blaine Gabbert today.
Working on Guy Wimper, who is the right tackle. It's 2nd down and 20. Multiple defensive backs for Gabbert to work on. Down he goes again. Who got that? Watt was there that time, and Tim Jamison. A loss of 6. Back to the 8.
Now this is stunning, and I'll tell you why. And you see the offensive linemen don't know what's going on. There's only 3 linemen rushing. Look at that. 5 guys to block 3. Look at Watt. Walks right in to sack the quarterback. I can tell you right now, anytime you get a pass rush and a sack, while only rushing 3 linemen against 5 offensive blockers, I tell you what, that's amazing that they can still get the pressure on the quarterback. It's just relentless pursuit and good work by J.J. Watt.
What this defense would be like if they had Mario Williams. Flag and the Chargers down, yeah.
Sacked 4 times today,
wow.
15 hurries, and it's gone down to the ground several times. Poor kid, he's getting beat up. They may get a roughing the passer. Is that what they're saying?
Roughing the passer is the call. Now, Jamison came in late after Watt had him wrapped up. But I don't know how he's supposed to stop his momentum. Wow. And he got him around, it looked like the shoulders, the neck area. But I don't know if that's going to be the call.
Keeping secrets.
Yeah, we want to know too, Gary. we
Take another look at it. You know, when you go to the leg right there, remember there's a rule of going to the legs of the quarterback. Remember the injury to Tom Brady several years ago?
Yeah,
the Marcus Pollard hit, and they changed that rule.
You're right.
Saying that you got to stay up high on the quarterback.
I find very little fault, though, in what the Texans did right there.
Certainly, I think you could tell he was still engaged with the offensive lineman who was in the process of trying to push him away from the quarterback, and that's what Gary Kubiak is saying. What do you expect our guy to do?
Exactly. Look at Wade Phillips.
Now, it's clear that if you're coming in for a sack, you can't go toward the legs of the quarterback. But if you're being pushed down, that's another thing.
So there was a sack back to the 8. They mark off, I'm guessing, 15 yards. Roughing the passer was the call. They're at the 23. Well, it's 1st and 10. Jones-Drew hit by Connor Barwin. Makes the stop at the 27 after a gain of 4 as we take you to New York and James Brown.
Sanchez to Keller is the hookup, Shannon.
Yes, Sanchez's best friend today, tight end Dustin Keller. His second touchdown, just with 18 yards, puts the Jets up on top, 21-14 over the Bills, late in the third.
Third toss of the day for Sanchez. Back to Kevin Harlan. Solomon Wilcox.
Oh, guys, you know you can't write off those Buffalo Bills. Boy, they've pulled off a comeback a time or two.
And we got bodies moving. It may have been Wimper, the right tackle, with a false start. Barwin, it was him who was across from Wimper.
False start, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
See, now Wimper is really thinking about Barwin, who's right across the line, as we're thinking about more updates from New York and James Brown.
A pick contest here, Shannon.
Yes, Matt Hasselbeck throws this ball late. Akeem to leave is early. 27-yard INT return for a touchdown. JB, this man's hungry. He's still having Thanksgiving leftovers.
A lot of protein. Back to Kevin and Solly.
To lead the ex-Kansas Jayhawk. Here is a 2nd down and 10. That's caught by Maurice Jones-Drew, and he has room to roam. Mercedes Lewis with the block. From behind, Colbert Quinn brings him down. A catch and run to the 50. 27 yards. 1st down, Jacksonville.
Offside, number 56, defense. Penalties decline, 1st down.
Where would this team be without Maurice Jones-Drew?
Against Cushing. And you can see they just slip him out. And look at the block right there. That's what springs them, because they're able to seal the block on Earl Mitchell. And it just clears Maurice Jones-Drew. He's running wide open. Just a clever play by the Jacksonville Jaguars on a little slip screen to Maurice Jones-Drew.
1st down and 10. And not a whole lot right there from Montel Owens, who is thrown for a loss of a yard. Back to the 49-yard line. Owens, who is out of Maine. Really a special teamer. 2nd down and 11.
Just a turn of events by the Houston Texans. They getting plenty of pressure on Blaine Gabbert. Then the roughing the quarterback penalty as we take a look at Mario Williams. And then they hit a slip screen. Now this Jacksonville offense appears to be on the move.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down and 11. Gabbert to Owen. Dancing with Connor Barwin. Out of bounds, little catch and run down to the 45-yard line, picks up 6 on the play.
Well, you get the sense that this defense needs to hold Blaine Gabbert and this Jacksonville offense, because if Jacksonville could somehow get a touchdown here, you think they would gain the momentum. They're playing with a quarterback who now has more experience than TJ Yates.
6 defensive backs, 3rd down and 5. You know what? His feet get fast and he begins to crumble. It's a loss on the play, a 5th sack, and Reed was there on a loss of 1.
Now watch this. No one is even near him. Well, watch him duck his head. See him duck his head right here? Right here. Instead of escaping or getting rid of the ball. But he's watching the pass. See, vision comes down. There's no intent to throw or run. He's kind of caught in no man's land. And that's where he's got to keep his vision down the field. Either get rid of the ball, hit the receiver, or take off running to create a positive gain.
Reed, by the way, now a sack in 5 consecutive games. All-time Texan rookie sack record. Okoye had it before as Jones gathers it in at about the 8. A 38-yard punt. 5:24 in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Radio Shack. Radio Shack has what you need to make the holidays so right. And by Acura. Acura. Advance.
If you're not at the game, be on a boat. Little punt moments ago by Jacksonville. Here we go with TJ Yates on a first down and 10 from the 8. No word yet on Leonard. They just say it's a shoulder injury. No specifics. Arian Foster and a fumble for the second time today. Foster is fumbled. That's time he vacuums it in, or to Dwayne Brown. Maybe his big left tackle. Brown got it. That's 2 fumbles by him, and that is a rarity.
You can't turn the ball over. We said that. Turning the ball over is the only thing that really will put Jacksonville in a favorable position to come back and win this game while playing with your third-string quarterback. Foster's got to hold on to it. And Kevin, 8 times this year the Texans have had a drive start inside their own 10-yard line. They scored on 5 of the 8.
Second down, 14. Here comes Duzable. Gets that away. That's Daniels. And he's out to about the 7-yard line on the play. That's a gain of 3. It's taking the place of the injured Leinart. Middleton was there with the stop.
How about Yates showing some poise on that play in his own end zone? He didn't run out the back of the end zone. We've seen quarterbacks do that. But with pressure in front of him, he still was able to deliver a completed strike.
Solomon, they began with the left-handed quarterback. Now they're with the right-handed quarterback. What does that do to the play calling and the shifting or the tilting of the offense?
Gary Kubiak says it's on him, the play caller. Make sure there are more right-handed plays in the script when you have a right-hand quarterback.
3rd and 11. Foster, great cut. That stop by Yabodi, who returned a fumble for a touchdown earlier in the game. The fumble of Foster, gain of 5. They got to punt the ball.
Even though they start this drive inside their own 10-yard line, they're not even able to pick up a first down. As you can see, Foster tackled just short of that first down marker. So good stop by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Should get the ball with really good field position.
Thomas is back. 4 straight wins for the Texans coming into today. If they would win today, first time in Texan history that they will have a 5-game streak. The rush was on, and the punt by Hartman will dribble inside the 35. Down to about the 32. 56-yard punt with a good roll. Here comes Gabbert. He's been pressured all day. 3:14 in the third. Guy Wimper, that right tackle's had a hard time. I see now they're putting that tight end over there more and more to give him some help.
Try to help him out.
First down and 10. After the punt for the Texans. Now he's winding up. He throws in a double coverage. It's incomplete. They were looking for Mike Thomas. There was some pressure in the coverage across the way by Quinn. And CY Person of Interest is the People's Choice nominee for Favorite New Drama. Don't miss your chance to catch back-to-back episodes. That's tonight, Jim Caviezel and company on CBS. It's second down and 10. I saw the play sheet there off of his belt buckle. Normally the quarterback has it on his wrist. Handoff goes to very tough to bring down UCLA Bruin. Jones-Drew, gain of 7, up to the 39-yard line on the play. There was Connor Barwin again. He's got 3 sacks.
Oh, Maurice Jones-Drew, he never complains about how many are in the box. You know, so many running backs, when they go into a drought, they're complaining, well, we've got 8, 9 in the box. I'm facing that. Well, Jones-Drew doesn't complain about it. He still goes out and he's able to be successful, even though their passing attack, it doesn't really threaten the defense. You can really focus your entire intentions on stopping him.
Into 6 defensive backs, 3rd and 3. Held, almost picked off, incomplete. They were going for Lewis. The coverage by Glover Quinn. Another punt coming up for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In the 3 and out, 2 pass attempts by Blaine Gabbert, both falling incomplete. You see him trying to go over the middle, and you see that ball just low and inside where the defender can get to it and where Lewis could not.
Between these two teams, we've had 6 offensive possessions. We've had 6 punts. The starting quarterback for the Texans knocked out Leinart. Here is the punt now coming up from Nick Harris, 11 years out of Cal. He's been with Denver and Cincinnati and Detroit. And Jacoby Jones is brought down. Brzezinski down there. That's a reserve defensive back.
This is the most American game played. When we graduate, we'll be on the same team. But when we're on that field, we do not like each other.
They're there for a special reason. It's not just about the football.
You're going to watch one show this holiday season. Watch Game of Honor premiering December 21st only on Showtime with a great special behind-the-scenes look on CBS December 3rd. Over 7,000 men and women of the military here today being honored all this month throughout the NFL. Our thanks to them in so many ways. 1st and 10 for Yates. And he's got Andre Johnson for the first time today. Johnson makes a catch after missing 6 games, picks up 14, first down to the 33.
And how about TJ Yates? If you need a go-to man, how about Andre Johnson? This is something Blaine Gabbert doesn't have in his arsenal of weapons to be able to go. Look at 4 defenders, 4 Jaguars, and Yates still squeezes it in there to his big play wide receiver Andre Johnson for his first catch of the day.
Reception number 699. 1st and 10. Nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's Doozable. Loss of 3 on the play. It went to Arian Foster on the 1st and 10.
Doozable knifing in, trying to turn back this Houston Texans offense. You see what they've done in the second half. All 3 times they've had the ball, they've had to punt it, going 3 and out twice on those 3 possessions.
How about the improvement they've made for defense on Jacksonville side? 27th last year in defense for the Jaguars. This year, number 3.
$100 million in contracts and free agent acquisitions. You should improve it, boy, have to.
2nd and 13. And the catch made. Johnson again brought down by Yabodi. He's number 34 all-time. Gain of 8 to New York and James Brown.
The Red Rifle on the mark, Shannon.
Yes, Andy Dalton threw a big play down to A.J. Green to get him down there. This one is to Jermaine Gresham, 22 yards. 2017 Cleveland's on top, but Cincinnati is coming back.
29 seconds left in the 3rd. Back to Kevin and Solly.
Gresham, one of the emerging tight end talents, and that rookie, a 2nd-round pick out of TCU, is terrific.
They're young, they're talented, and if they start coming from behind to win games, watch out.
3rd and 5 for Yates, and slides short of the first down. He got 4 when he needed 5. He's down at the 41. That's experience.
I look at Postlesny, though. He led with the head. You got to be careful. When the quarterback goes to slide, you can't lead with your helmet. He's looking for that yellow flag. Not going to find one.
Texans trying to hold on. They're down to the 3rd-string quarterback on the road, leading by 10 on CBS. That's the St. Johns River aerial coverage of today's game provided by MetLife. Sellout here in Jacksonville with Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan. We got a punting situation coming up for the Texans, who have lost Matt Leinart late in the first half. We have not even seen Leinart come back out onto the sideline. And all we're being told is it is a shoulder injury. There's a false start by the Texans. Got a punt.
False start, number 54, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
By a special teammate of this ball club, Mr. Alexander, rookie free agent out of Florida State. Mike Thomas is deep back. Thomas is from Arizona. Leading receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hartman with the punt. Flag is down. And here comes Thomas. Not a lot of room. He was hit high and he was hit low. Hit high by KO. KO'd by KO. This is too easy, I'm sorry. 48-yard punt, 3-yard return. Flag is down. This has been a busy crew here in the second half, which has had more punts than first downs. We mentioned it. Andre Johnson had his 2nd reception before.
Kicking team player going about out of bounds on his own. That 5-yard penalty we added on to the end of the play. First down.
You got it. He becomes number 34, does Andre Johnson. Good to see him back out there in the NFL. Here comes Gabbert. We do that fantasy report before every game on CBSSports.com. You said running backs would be the guys to watch, and you were right.
Foster and Maurice Jones-Drew would have big games today, and boy, have they shown up.
Jones-Drew's been terrific. Here's a 1st and 10 from the 22, and here is Maurice Jones-Drew. Wrestled out of bounds, Cushing. USC allows a gain of a yard. That's a Trojan tackle and a Bruin.
Well, Maurice Jones-Drew, he's done it all, both running and catching the ball, but shredding, breaking defenses, breaking tackles, I should say, and then he's catching the ball coming out of the backfield as well. And look at him setting the edge, where he shows his speed, quickness, toughness, and durability. He's the leading rusher and receiver for the Jaguars in today's game.
Gabbert on 2nd down and 9. That may have been tapped at the line of scrimmage. Deflected right there. Sean Cody deflects it to New York and James Brown.
Speaking of deflection, watch this. Shannon.
The former Jet, Brad Smith, going against the current Jet. I got to break this interception up. Oh, the ball's still up in the air. 36-yard touchdown catch. Brad Smith ties the game, 21-21. Jets and Bills all knotted up.
Back to Kevin and Solid.
You put a creative mind like Chan Gailey with a guy like Brad Smith, good things are going to happen.
Those Bills are dangerous. The Jets better do something quickly, or their playoff hopes can go down the drain.
Chan Gailey, the former coach of the Cowboys. Here's a 3rd and 9. Flag is thrown across the way at about the 12. It's a false start on the Jaguars, which now will make it longer than just 3rd and 9.
False start, number 80. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Mike Thomas.
Veteran player, and just shooting the Jaguars in the foot.
They just don't have a real first-class number 1 receiver on this team.
And that's what Jack Del Rio talked about, is for a quarterback like Blaine Gabbert, you're a rookie breaking into this league. You need some kind of weapon, someone you can hang your hat on to make a play for you.
You really don't have it. 3rd and 14 from the 18-yard line. They come again. Chased on the play by Barwin. Runs out of real estate, well shy of the first down. Had to get to the 33, picks up a yard. Here comes another punt. Barwin has been all over the field for the Texans.
And yes, he has, and no one has been able to block him. Relentless, crawling at the feet of the quarterback, scratching and clawing to get Blaine Gabbert on the ground. They even turned him loose once. He's got 3 sacks in this game. The Houston Texans have 5 total on Blaine Gabbert, and boy, they hit, hurried, and harassed Blaine Gabbert all day long.
This defense is fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. Lots
to watch.
of playmakers on defense for Houston.
There is the punt, Jacoby Jones. Sidestepping his way, and the punter knocks him out of bounds. Harris, and then drilled by Brock Bowen. Another good return for Jacoby Jones, who comes into today as the number 9 punt return leader in the NFL. A 23-yard return by Jacoby Jones from New Orleans.
And now can he set the table for TJ Yates and his Houston Texans offense to try to put more points on the board? You get the sense that Jacksonville just one play away from really putting this game in jeopardy and threatening the Houston Texans stronghold on this division.
Both times that the Texans have started with a short field in Jacksonville territory have scored. Foster's in the backfield, 1st and 10.
Where you going?
Number 10 rusher in the NFL, Foster submarining with the grasp of Mosley. Alualu is there. It's a gain of 2 to the 36. Well, Wednesday on Survivor, the final 7 castaways are turning on each other. That's right. Don't miss the new Survivor, Wednesday only on CBS. 2nd down. 8.
Don't want to turn on each other. You turn to each other. Foxhole mentality, right?
2nd down and 8. There's another good grab on that defensive line. Douzable was there. Mosley was there. Loss of a yard. Foster's back to about the 37.
Yeah, but Foster's still having a big day. We talked about Maurice Jones-Drew being the leading rusher and receiver for his team and how much the running backs would be able to produce in this game. Arian Foster, he leads the Houston Texans in both rushing and receiving in this game. So you're talking about two dynamic running backs playing in this game for each team.
It's 3rd down and 9. Texans have missed their last 8 third downs. Yates knocked away beautifully on the play by Lowry.
Now you might say, well, Yates, you got to throw that ball out in front of the receiver. But Yates had to double clutch it because watch one of the defensive linemen go a hand up in his face, and so he just had to hold on to it for a second. And then that allowed Lowry to recover as he was in coverage. Initially, Lowry wasn't as close to the intended receiver.
They were going to their leading receiver, Owen Daniels. He was 3rd among AFC tight ends coming into today. Here's the Aussie rules punt by Hurton. Backspin and saved by Mr. Alexander. They called him Mr. and he's down right now, as you can see, a 36-yard punt. 12-16 left in this one.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. The Droid Razor by Motorola. Droid Strong, Razor Sharp. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
All right, we've got 12-16 to play. There was a good punt there by the Texans and Brett Hartman. Alexander, by the way, walked off under his own punt. He lost his breath. Gabbert, 1st and 10. Here's Jones-Drew carving room up the middle where there really isn't a bunch, and Glover Quinn brings him down, gain of 9. This guy is amazing, 93 yards on the ground.
If there isn't any room, he's going to make some by pounding it right in the middle of that defense. And it's just one man and his determination running behind this fullback, Greg Jones, getting to the second level of the defense. But Maurice Jones-Drew, he is the productive component to this offense.
2nd down and 1. There's not a lot of room to roam right there. Close to a 1st down, though. Jones-Drew, our director Brian Lilly from Texas, had a shot on Greg Jones. He's having a Pro Bowl type year. So when you look at the success of Maurice Jones-Drew, don't forget about the lead blocker, who is Greg Jones.
Yeah, that's why they're so good at running the football. Jones, I think, is a Pro Bowler. They're at the fullback position. And if they're not running the ball, they're not getting a lot of production. Wide receivers have only had 2 catches for 28 yards in this game.
1st and 10. Into a thicket of defenders. There's Cushing again, along with Reed. Gain of 2 by Jones-Drew. How would you like to have Cushing, Reed, a healthy Mario Williams, D'Amico Ryans? I mean, my goodness, they have done a masterful job building this #1 defense.
Yeah, and you talked about it. I think Antonio Smith is an excellent player. We have seen Connor Barwin and J.J. Watt. And then how about Daniel Manning and Jonathan Joseph on the back end?
2nd down 9. Good point. And here's a pass. You see Quinn watching Lewis. A flag is thrown. It looks like Glover may have gotten a little bit too close right there.
Pass interference,
He did.
number 29, defense. Ball replaced at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Quinn nearly had the interception. He's another good player. Remember, he was drafted as a corner. They move him to safety, and look how he closes on this. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know that you can play it any better than that. You're telling me he obstructed the 6'6" Mercedes Lewis from making that catch? Of course, we've seen Lewis not catch it when he wasn't covered.
In the end zone. 1st down and 10. Here they come again. Oh my goodness, this is J.J. Watt. His 3rd sack of the season. He is the 3rd consecutive 1st-round pick by this Texan team.
Yeah, look at him coming off the top of your screen. Just break loose. He's a relentless player. Tremendously talented player. Getting a sack, the 6th of the day. by this defense. And Mario Williams is out. He was by far their leader. You thought that production would drop off with him out for the season, but players like J.J. Watt, they've stepped their game up for their defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips.
Well, if you're a Texan fan, you say thank God for Wade Phillips and what he's brought our team.
Best off-season acquisition for the entire team.
Second down and 19. This is caught by Jason Hill, the ex-49er, to the 21. Boy, they're on him quickly, too. Hit on the play by Nading and by Brayman. It's a gain of 4 to the 21.
Ray Gabbert is under a ton of pressure. He's been sacked 6 times today. He's been hurried another 20 times and knocked down 13 times. And look at the body language. He appears to be worn out. He appears to be somewhat shell-shocked because he's getting his jersey dirty.
Kareem in the backfield, 3rd and 15. Low and uncatchable for Mercedes Lewis. Glover Quinn was on him. 4th and 15. Here come the boos now, cascading down. They got to punt the ball.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert. And look at this. Okay, he's got some time. Now just get it out in front of him. Where did that ball go? It went right into the ground. It wasn't on the front side of the 6'6" intended target. And he just appears to be sort of out of sorts right now. I know the pressure has gotten to him. He's been hit a lot, but it's starting to take its toll.
Punt by Harris. 9th punt by Jacksonville today. Jacoby Jones circling into the ball, 27-yard line. Good-looking tackle right there made by Brzezinski. 5-yard return, 52-yard punt, 9:01 to play in this one. T.J. Yates took the place of Matt Leinart with under 2 to play in the first half when Leinart went down with a shoulder injury. That's all we know, the severity of which is unknown. More to come, 1st and 10. Wheeling inside is Arian Foster. It's a loss of 1. Saturday, noon Eastern, the season premiere of CBS Sports NCAA college basketball. Then number 1 North Carolina against number 2 Kentucky. And then at 4 Eastern, BCS Bull Hopes are in the mix when number 13 Georgia takes on number 1 LSU in the Southeastern Conference Championship on CBS, beginning with college football today. Carolina had a tough go in Las Vegas last night, losing to the Runnin' Rebels.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
2nd down and 11. Yates. He'll give off to the running back Foster with no gain on the play. They read it well. Middleton was there. Leinart has come out on the sideline, and there he is. Now that is not a good sign.
Wow, and he talked about it. Just wanted another chance, a second chance to lead a good team. He has to be dejected because when Jeremy Mincy fell on top of him, that shoulder went planted into the ground, and he got up immediately, sensing something was wrong, headed over to the sideline.
You know, he's waited so long for that second chance to come.
Yeah.
He gets hit as he was looking good. He began the game very sharp and looked comfortable in the pocket, and there was just a good rush that came in off the edge, and it wasn't picked up, and down he went right to the locker room.
He's a guy you're going to feel bad for because all he talked about, he says he heard all the negative things that were said about him when he left Arizona. He said, all I didn't want to use words to fight it. I just wanted to grind and work hard to get this second opportunity. But here's the touchdown throw while he was hit, but he was able to get the touchdown pass. Now this is the hit that caused the injury. Mincy falls on him, drives that left shoulder into the ground. He walks over to the sideline. They take him in, and now he comes out in a sling. And, of course, this doesn't look good. And you would get maybe the feeling that the Houston Texans are going to be without now Matt Leinart for some time to come.
And, you know, Solomon, they just worked out 5 different quarterbacks on Monday, signing Kellen Clemens, who's inactive today, 3rd and 11. Foster can only find 3, so the Texans again have to punt, but they had Trent Edwards in. They had 41-year-old Jeff Garcia. They eventually signed Kellen Clemens, who was in training camp with the Redskins, playing with Shanahan, which is a system that Gary Kubiak uses in Houston. So that's the familiarity was one of the reasons why they signed him.
And Kellen Clemens was working out with quarterbacks coach Greg Knapp before the game, going through that ritual of every pass in the route tree. And that's just working mechanics, working accuracy, working getting the ball out of your hands.
18th total punt of the game. Every second half possession has resulted in a punt. And this is a bad one. Off the foot of Hartman. It's going to give Jacksonville some decent beginning field position. There is a flag also at the 24 on the near sideline.
Well, you get the feeling if Jacksonville had any offense, they would really challenge Houston right now in the second half of this game.
And we're going to see a quarterback change for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The guy that began the season, Luke McCown, after they cut David Garrard. McCown, an 8-year veteran who started the first 2 games until he gave way to the rookie Gabbard out of Mizzou, will be in. He was a former 4th-round pick by Cleveland, went to Tampa Bay. He hails from Jacksonville, Texas. Luke McCown. 23-yard punt as it stands right now.
During the kick, holding number 42 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty for where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
That'll be Przinski. There is McCown. Quarterback change. They're going to bench the number 1 pick, Gabbard. 7:03 to play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And by Subway Restaurants. Get your own Subway steak melt today.
Beautiful day in Jacksonville. Coming up, the Patriots will take on the Eagles, or maybe it's Tim Tebow with the Broncos against Phillip Rivers and the struggling Chargers you're going to get. Check local listings for the game in your area. Next on CBS, here we have 7:03 to play. Jaguars have it 1st and 10 at their own 33. They've lost 2 of 3. Texans come in and won 4 consecutive wins. Here he is, Luke McCown, the new quarterback. Let's see if he can provide a spark. 8-year veteran on the Louisiana Tech. Zips it outside. Mike Thomas hit on the play by Kareem Jackson. 6-yard pickup to the 39. First catch today.
Oh, here's a story on Luke McCown, a 4th-round pick by the Cleveland Browns in 2004, 2-7 as a career starter. He started the first 2 games for Jacksonville and won week 1 against Tennessee.
Oh, he's got Dillard on 2nd down and 4. Flag is thrown on Kareem Jackson, the number 1 pick out of Alabama a year ago.
Wow, that flag came in way late. And the official closest to the action never even pulled this flag.
Pass interference, number 25, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
It's so subjective, Kevin. I got to tell you. Take a look at it. Bottom of your screen, 25, Kareem Jackson. Now he loses at the line of scrimmage. Not in good position, but yes, there is some contact. I think the receiver actually jumped back into Jackson. And Jackson, once you lose vision on the quarterback and on the ball, I think you really make yourself susceptible to that kind of pass interference penalty.
In essence, a 23-yard penalty to the Texans, 38, 1st and 10. That's caught. Grabbed on the play by Jason Hill. Short little gain down to the 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 on the play.
We're seeing Luke McCown now provide a spark for this offense. They're on the move. They're driving the ball down the field in the 4th quarter, hoping to put some points on the board. I got to believe if their offense can make some plays, it'll put Houston in a tough situation. They've gone 3 and out on a number of possessions in the second half.
Kane made that last tackle, part of 6 defensive backs. 2nd down and 5. Little high there for the 5'6" Maurice Jones-Drew, and he was covered by a linebacker.
We talked about Luke McCown getting the start week 1. David Garrard's cut the Monday before the first week of the season. So Luke McCown becomes the starter. They get a 16-14 win against the Tennessee Titans. The next week they go on the road to play the New York Jets, and they get pummeled. 32-3, they lose the game, and then they hand the job over to Blaine Gabbert, who started week 3.
Luke McCown with a 3rd and 5. Niftily moves up. He's got to get to the 28. First down. with a good-looking dive and run. Cushing brings him down. He picks up 7, make it 9 on 3rd and 5. They move the chains.
Yeah, Green Day first down. He breaks. Look at the pressure that had bothered Gabbert so badly. Luke McCown is able to escape and pick up a first down. So just the experience at the quarterback position right now working well for Jacksonville.
1st and 10 for Reese Jones-Drew. And a pickup of 3. He's down to the 21.
Can we go with Luke McCown as 3rd-string quarterback? I know he was the 2nd-string quarterback. They cut David Garrard. Then he goes the 1st-string quarterback. And then he start Gabbert. And he goes right back to the bottom of the depth chart. And now he's back in the game for the rookie quarterback who was ineffective throughout 3.5 quarters of his game.
Gabbert was 13 and 29. 2nd down and 7. Blitz is on. Kareem. And trying to get a block from his receiver Hill. He picks up 4. He gets as far as the 17. J.J. Watt was there.
Now look at the pressure coming off the top of your screen. They're coming after McCown now. He's have to dump it off. Watt peels off to try to tackle the running back on the dump off. Let's see how Luke McCown handles the play in cover.
3rd and 3. A little bit high for Dillard, but they got to go for it on 4th and 3 now. They're going to go for 3, which would be part of their comeback plan anyway, so this makes sense, and they've got 4:19 with which to work.
I asked how was he going to handle the coverage. He got man-to-man coverage. He overthrew his intended receiver on a slant route heading into the end zone. I thought he should have completed that pass.
Here's a 35-yard try by Scobie. He missed one earlier from 55. You whacked one in from 21, this from 35, and we have a 7-point ball game. With 4:15 to play. New quarterback, new outlook, and concern perhaps for the head coach of the Texans.
And your summary for this game, remember, Matt Leinart gets the start, but Arian Foster fumbles on his first carry of the game. It's scooped and scored by Jacksonville for a touchdown. Mercedes Lewis dropped what should have been a touchdown for his young quarterback. Leinart gets a touchdown pass to Joel Dreesen, and then he throws the ball away. He blows his shoulder out here on the hit by Mincy. He leaves the game. And then here comes Blaine Gabbert, who's sacked 6 times so far in this game today by the Houston Texans. Gabbert had to be taken out of the game. In come Luke McCown. And there you see T.J. Yates, who's come in to replace Matt Leinart, who was knocked out of the game in the 2nd quarter.
As the Jaguars look ahead here and they look at some of the pictures being taken from high atop the stadium, they will have 4 stoppages. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. 4:15 to play. And the kickoff now coming from the Jaguars. Scobie. McManus. He'll leave it in the end zone. The touchback, and it will be 1st down and 10 yards to go for T.J. Yates. We have seen Leinart on the sideline in a sling that obviously is related to the shoulder injury, whether it's a collarbone or an AC joint. It's so hard to say. They have not released any information, but even now tightening it up just a little bit.
Suffice it to say, he can't throw the ball with that shoulder in a sling. Right now in the second half, the Texans offense has yielded only 56 total yards and 2 first downs.
Crowd back into it. 1st and 10, Arian Foster. He was slowed up by Mincy. He was hit by Lesney and cramped by Yabodi. He picks up a meager yard to the 21, and today Arian Foster on the ground has carried it for 22 totes, 65 yards.
Oh, this offense has struggled. We gave you the numbers on how anemic they have been in the second half, playing with their 3rd-string quarterback. And normally you say, well, why don't they just run the ball? But when you have a quarterback that the opposing defense don't respect to throw the ball down the field, now you can stack the box, and you can see where they're so underproductive today in terms of their ability to run the football.
2nd down and 9. Wide open. Foster tripped up on the play by Yabodi. Another gain of a yard. This to the 22. And a timeout taken by Jacksonville, the first of their 3 timeouts. 3:22 to play. The defense is locked in. This is the 3rd-ranked defense of Jacksonville against the number 1-ranked defense of the Texans.
So we've seen them in the Monday night game shut down Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, and a really good Baltimore Ravens offense. Jack Del Rio's defense is capable of shutting you down. And they're getting that done with the Texans' 3rd-string quarterback, TJ Yates, in the game. Not even Arian Foster can crack Jack Del Rio's defense right now.
Favorable upcoming schedule.
You got Atlanta, at Cincinnati. I think 2 teams that are really good and looking for a playoff spot themselves.
It's 3rd and 8. Here comes Alualu. Arian Foster. They got a beat on him and down he goes. Big hit by Middleton. Also some assistance by Darrell Smith. Gain of 5, shy of the first. They got a punt. Houston has missed their last 11 third down.
Yeah, they just can't produce anything. I will give Arian Foster credit for one thing. Watching lower his head, but look at the 3 defenders layer a lick. That's how good this defense is. Because there was no yards after contact there, but Arian Foster buried his head to get whatever he could out of that play.
Jacksonville has taken another timeout, so now they have 1 plus the 2-minute warning. Mike Thomas is deep back. He has just started to return punts over the last handful of games. Remember, Thomas is the guy who caught the deflected pass ending the game last year here to the Texans for a game-winning Jacksonville touchdown. At the 26, and down he goes with the ball. 47-yard punt. We remember it well. It was November 14th last year. The score tied at 24. Garrard connecting with Mike Thomas as time expired. And the Jaguars won it 31-24.
That was Glover Quinn knocking the ball right into the hands of Mike Thomas. Jaguars couldn't even believe it, but they've won 4 in a row here at home against the Houston Texans.
Last time that the Texans won here was back in 2006. Luke McCown, 1st and 10. Right on the money, caught by Thomas. Hit on the play by Quinn, picks up 5, put him at the 31. Came here in a trade with the Buccaneers back in 09, did Luke McCown. 2nd down and 5. Here comes Reed. There goes the pass. There were 2 receivers right there. Jones-Drew and Mercedes Lewis.
He needed the receivers to be in the area. He was still in that, quote, tackle box as he threw the ball out of bounds to avoid the sack. Now looking at a 3rd and 5. Let's see if Wade Phillips will come after the quarterback here. Will they send a blitz and go man-to-man coverage?
6 sacks today of Jacksonville quarterbacks, 3rd down and 5. And he's got his man. That's Diller for a 1st down. Brought down on the play by Jason Allen. 21-yard pickup. Clock continues to tick. 1st and 10. Jacksonville at the 48.
They just went with a straight 4-man rush zone behind it. Give Luke McCown a lot of credit. He read the zone, found the open man, and made a very nice throw.
1st and 10 for McCown. Kareem hit and tripped up. Glover Quinn was there. It's a loss of 4. Back to the 47.
Quinn's making a lot of plays on defense, but they're going to need even more in the final 2 minutes of this ball game. Luke McCown, can he lead his team to prosperity in the 4th quarter?
Coming up from our New York studios, time permitting after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Verizon, JB and Company, scores, news, and highlights. That's coming up. 2-minute warning. Second down, 14. Pound taking the place of the ineffective Blaine Gabbert for the Jaguars. Here they come. There he goes. Oh my goodness. The 4th sack today for Connor Barwin. 7th sack authored by the Texan D. Wow. What an afternoon for Barwin. A career day.
Wade Phillips has found a weapon in Connor Barwin.
Woo. Loss of 13. Here's a 3rd down and 27. And it's caught at the 40-yard line by Mercedes Lewis. A pickup of 25 on 3rd and 27. So now it's 4th and 2.
Big time catch by Mercedes Lewis.
Here he goes. 4th and 2 and knocked away. What a great play by Bryce McCain. Bryce McCain right in front of the receiver, Mike Thomas.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Here's the catch in coverage to the 6'6", 270-pound tight end in coverage, but then they rush the 4th down play. Pressure in the face of Luke McCown. Why would you feel you had to rush the 4th down play, Kevin?
And they had a timeout remaining.
They had a timeout, and then they didn't. They went with a quick count on 4th down.
Well, that's just game management because you can call a timeout from the sideline.
We saw some semblance of this last week against Cleveland, where on the doorstep of the end zone, they just didn't utilize the clock well. And they had a timeout here today and did not use it on 4th down to set up a better play for Luke McCown.
That's game management,
wow.
And that is on both the quarterback and the sideline. Now Jacksonville uses their last timeout. Now it's too late now.
Here are the 4 quarterbacks we've seen today. Matt Leinart knocked out of the game earlier. He was replaced by T.J. Yates. Blaine Gabbert replaced because he was ineffective. Luke McCown looked good, but I got to tell you, better clock management might give him a chance to win the game.
So the Jaguars look to lose their 3rd game in the last 4. They're going to drop to 3-8 in what has been a very difficult season. But the Texans are going to win their 5th consecutive game of the season. It's the first time in Texan history they've put together 5 consecutive wins. They hold the Jaguars to less than 20 for a franchise record 5th consecutive game. This defense has kept an opponent under 20 yards. Here is 20 points rather. 3rd and 14 as they get the snap, and the #1 team in the South gets by. They go, Solomon, to 8-3 on the season.
You have to ask yourselves, it looks like it could be a miracle if either Leinart or Schaub will be the starting quarterback next week. May have to be T.J. Yates.
Schaub is on IR. They may now have to look again at that group of quarterbacks, which they saw firsthand on Monday. That's when they signed Kellen Clemens, who is inactive today. So a lot riding on this first-place team, but obviously the future is fraught with a lot of chuck holes right now. 5 consecutive wins for the Texans, who beat Jacksonville today on